I am in Osceola, Arkansas. The first thing I'm showing you is the county courthouse. Osceola is the county seat for Mississippi County here in Arkansas. This building was built in 1912. That is classical revival. That's about ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Check out that awesome dome on top. It's quite beautiful. Anyway, yeah, it is raining. I checked the weather before I came here, got in the area a couple days ago, and it wasn't supposed to rain till about noon. So I got here at 8 a.m. because I want to get some shots of the town, and it's already started. It's just not cooperating. But that's okay. I don't mind a little rain. And it's very quiet right now. I guess because of the weather. Looks like a pretty nice downtown overall, though. Let me show you a map so you can see where I'm at. And population history. 1990 was peak 8930. Last census estimate 6450. Yeah, so the town has lost some population. Osceola was founded in the early 1800s as a steamboat fueling hub on the Mississippi River, which is a short distance away from here. But by the mid to late 1800s, cotton had taken over and became the top industry here, and it was that way well into the 1900s. And they still produce cotton here, but steel is now the top industry, which surprised me a bit. I would have never guessed that a town like this would be a big steel producer. This part of downtown looks to me like it's abandoned. Wow, let's see what this is here. Well, it looks like there's an attempt at a store here. Ooh, it's quite gloomy, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of this is abandoned here. You got a place that doesn't even have a door. Guess we can take a peek in there. That's a beautiful building across the street there. I would guess it was once a bank. Well, let me throw some numbers at you real quick. Median age is 35. And median household income, $46,202 a year. It's $890 a week. It's not a lot of money. Poverty, 26.2 overall. School-age children, 36%. 65 and over, 14%. And let's do cost of living. It's an 84. Groceries, the highest at 100. Housing, the lowest at 53. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up a little walk in the downtown. Let's go see what else we can find here. Man, it's like being in Louisiana. It is so green. You see quite a bit of this. swampy-like even, isn't it? This is like a whole other world. Well, let's see, I don't think I gave you the race breakdown yet. 56% black, 31% white, 7% Hispanic, remaining mixed race or other. Alright, so there's that real quick. Okay, this is what it looks like here in town. Something. A lot of boarded up houses. I'll give you crime real quick. Last year, 23 incidents per 1,000 people. That compares to 21 for the U.S. Looks like we have some shotgun houses here. I was hoping I would see some. This one right here is for rent. Looks like they've made them in pretty good condition. Here's another one for rent. It's awesome, isn't it? Well, let me give you the median home value here. $99,900. I am in Luxora. I think that's how you pronounce it. Luxora, Arkansas. The town was named after one of the founders' daughters. This town was founded as a river port on the Mississippi River, just like the last town. And they shipped cotton and timber from this town to other places in the country. I want to see that mural. That is pretty awesome, huh? Shooting out the window because of the sprinkling. Not a whole lot to the downtown. This is about it. That looks like it might have been a post office. Yeah, it was. Still might be. Just not in that good a shape. Nope. Strike that. They've got a nice new post office. There it is. Okay. Let's see a map. And population history, 1980 peak, 1739. Last estimate, 855. So about half the town gone. Alright, well, I'm out of residential. That one is done for, isn't it? Median age of this town is 32. That's pretty young, isn't it? Let me give you the ethnic breakdown. 66% black, 15% Hispanic, 13% white, rest is mixed race or other. Ooh, big pothole. A couple of train engines parked there. Truck looks like they just parked it there and left it, abandoned it. Well, let me throw some numbers at you. Median household income, NA. Wow. But look at that per capita. $13,622 a year. $262 a week. That would make this, as far as per capita goes, one of the poorest towns in the country. Poverty reflects that. 50.7 overall. Wow. Half the people here live in poverty. It's even worse for kids. 73% of the kids here live in poverty. 65 and older, 25% live in poverty. Cost of living is 76. You can see groceries is the highest at 100. Housing, lowest at 27. So that tells us that the houses are going to be cheap here. Residential is, wow. Again, just trees and overgrown everywhere. It's pretty wild. So, crime, because of the high poverty, you're thinking crime is probably pretty bad here. Actually, no. Last year, 0.3 per 100 people. USA is 2.1. That is very low crime. Yeah, this is a street in the town. It's wild, huh? That's what it looks like. And right here to my left, Mississippi River's on the other side there. Obviously that is to help prevent the Mississippi from flooding the area when it rains hard. Yeah, this is quite a place. Now we're here in the Arkansas Delta, by the way. Of course, the Delta, or the deltas of Arkansas and Mississippi, are always interesting. That one is done. Well, let me give you the median home value. You ready? $31,700. Whew. That is not a lot of money for a house. I am in Blytheville, Arkansas. I am entering downtown. This town was founded by a Methodist minister. His name was Henry Blythe. Initially, the town was a big timber producer. In fact, a lot of the timber used to reconstruct Chicago after the Great Fire of 1871 was produced here in this town. By around 1900, cotton had taken over. And it became a top cotton producer. In 1940, An Air Force base was built here, Eaker Air Force Base, and they trained pilots to fight in World War II. And that closed in 1992, and the town has never really recovered from that. Economically very depressed, and crime here is extremely high. Not a little high, I'm talking big city crime right here. Downtown, I like the way it's laid out. It's kind of cool, but a lot of it is abandoned and empty, boarded up. Well, let's see, that seems to be it for downtown. Median age here is 42. Let me give you the ethnic breakdown. 58% black, 33% white, 4% Hispanic, 1% Asian, rest mixed race or other. Well, from here, well, wait a minute. I was going to head straight into the residential there, but check this out. I didn't even know this was here. Isn't that beautiful? That modern architecture, right? Old Greyhound bus stop. Okay, well, I might as well show you a map and see where I'm at. And here's population history. 1970 peak population 24,752 people. Last census, or last estimate, 2025, 12,227. So half the town is gone. Let's see, I'm in residential now. Let's see what we can see here. How about if I go ahead and give you the numbers? Median household income, $47,865 a year. It's $920 a week. Poverty, 24.2 overall. School-age children, 38%. 65 and older, 10%. Cost of living's an 82. Most everything's in the 90s, but housing, that is 52. Prime spot for a homeless person, but I haven't not seen any homeless people in this area at all. You know, it's over half the population lost. Expect to see this. Yeah, it's everywhere. Nature is definitely taking that one. Well, let's take a look at crime. 58 incidents per 1,000 people. USA is 21, so crime here is way higher. I've got the breakdown here. If you want to really look at it, just pause the video. And that one is abandoned. So is this one. That's a pretty big house too. Looks like work is being attempted on this one. It might be for sale because it says make offer. You think you might be interested? It was a nice house once. You know, it reminds me a little bit Gary, Indiana. It's like a mini Gary, Indiana here. Just the sheer volume of empty houses. That one's in pretty good shape. I'm on the other side of town. The other side of downtown. Thought I'd see if it looks any different. It doesn't seem to. There's a house in there. Nature's just about got that one. Yeah, it's just like driving around Gary. I remember driving around Gary, Indiana, and just everywhere you went. Abandoned houses that were falling apart. It's like that here. People just up and left, especially when the Air Force Base closed. Yeah, there's a house in there. Well, let me give you the median home value here. $119,000. Honestly, higher than I thought it would be. I am in Manila, Arkansas. Very patriotic. Look at all the American flags. Downtown's pretty quiet though. This town is named after the Battle of Manila Bay. That was in 1898. Herman Davis, he was a World War I sniper, considered one of the best in history. Was born and raised here. He was rated 4th top hero of World War I. I believe there's a monument to him here somewhere. I'll try to find it. Until then, here's a map. You can see where I'm at. And in population history, look at this. Peak population 2025, 3773. This town is growing. Monument to Herman Davis. He's standing underneath a miniature of the Washington Monument. Sharpshooter, company runner, cited for bravery and extraordinary heroism in action and decorated with, and it's got a listing of all his medals there. Okay, so the origins of this town are quite different from the other towns I've visited today. This town was founded by livestock herders. It was a camp for livestock herders, and I guess, you know, they built a structure, maybe a house, maybe a store. Next thing you knew, they had a town. Early 1900s, the railroad came, and the town started booming, became a top timber producer, and they still produce timber to this day. Well, despite it growing, we've got a little bit of this here. Didn't expect to see that. Median age of this town is 34. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 97% white, remaining 3% mixed race or other. And that's it. Well, how about some numbers? Median household income, $55,792 a year. That's $1,073 a week. Poverty 8.5% overall, 0 for school-age children. Wow. Retirement age folks is 17. Cost of living's in 88. Everything's in the 90s there, as you can see, except for housing, which is a 71. Well, they have some modern new housing here. Well, you know, we saw the population figures. The town is growing. So maybe it's not a surprise to see this. Didn't see anything like this in the towns previous. Crime, last year 18 incidents per 1,000 people. Compares to 21 for the US, so crime here is a little bit lower. Here's the median home value, $172,000. All right, everyone, I am entering the town of Black Oak, Arkansas. For those of you who are older, that may sound familiar. Well, this downtown has seen better days, hasn't it? Yeah, you guessed it. This is the hometown of the rock band Black Oak, Arkansas. They're raised here, went to high school here, named the band after the town. I remember my dad had an album, the Black Oak, Arkansas album, when I was a kid. I remember listening to it with him. I remember thinking the cover looked really cool. Geez, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? You know, or this band, they're not the only ones who are famous who are from this town. John Grisham, the author, he lived here for a while as a kid. And when he wrote his book, A Painted House, a bestseller, it was about this town. Okay, so let's check out a map. And population history, 1940 was peak, 329 people. 2025, 261. If you were a huge fan of the band, you might want to make a pilgrimage here and take a picture by that sign. You know, the post office sign there, the lettering, Black Oak, Arkansas. Too cool. So there's a mural on the building here. That is John Grisham. Yeah, they grew cotton here. And of course the band. Black Oak, Arkansas. Alright. There's only like 2 streets in this town. I guess we'll take a drive down them. Oh, I wanted to show you this here. Check it out. Do you think that was the band's bus? Yeah, probably not, huh? Well, I'm driving down one of the maybe 2, maybe 3 residential streets in the town. Remember, there's only a little over 200 people here. The median age is 41. Well, let me give you some numbers. Median household income, $54,643 a year. It's $1,050 a week. Poverty, 22.6 overall. 17 and under, 48%. Ooh, that's high. 65 and older, 6%. That's low. Cost of living is a 76. Again, everything's in the 90s, but housing is a 35. Okay. Well, here's the town cemetery. Yeah. Now there's one more of these streets, and I will have showed you the entire town. So I guess we'll drive down it. Here's the other street. Okay, how about crime? Last year, 3 incidents per 100 people. USA is 2.1. Crime's a little bit high. And, well, right. Let me give you median home value. $68,400. Well, everyone, that's going to be it for this part of Arkansas. I've got another video of some small towns, more in the center of the state. And then Nicole and I will be staying in Jonesboro, 4th largest city in the state, if I remember right. So we're going to poke around there a little bit, check out a restaurant. So, yeah, that's coming up next. Stay tuned for all that.